Okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, we're gonna start by talking with Cresso for a minute about who he is, a little bit of backstory on him, and what got your interest, I guess, in YouTube, and what made you decide to start making YouTube videos.
All right. Just real brief, because I was so caught up trying to figure out what I need to do. Do I need to take out Discord out because of the echo or the stream site? I'm
Just
just a little
just
confused.
mute the volume on the stream.
On
If
a stream. Okay. How do I meet the volume on the stream now?
move the mouse over it, there's like a little
A browser?
volume. Yeah, just like the YouTube volume on the bottom left corner.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Just give me a second. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Um, what are you saying?
A little bit about you, when and why you started on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. About me, it's pretty much like kind of like a spiritual path for my own self. I describe myself as a soul traveler, and it's a little bit of a long story, but just to make it brief, kind of felt growing up, just felt like came from a different place. Just didn't understand it, but it took a while for me to really question a lot of things through life, and felt like I have something to offer to people. Uh, So to make that short, I started doing YouTube videos to inspire people. Is I just see the potential a lot for everybody, and this is a way of just basically giving, just passing good vibes and hope for everybody,
Right.
and and that we are definitely power to make this world a better place, but to definitely empower ourselves. That's pretty much the bulk. A lot of my videos that I've been doing on YouTube, and working on doing my book and movie. I definitely want to. I have high interest in the film industry, and I just want to get involved in that. So that's just pretty much a summary about myself and what am I and why I'm doing this stuff. So yeah, it's fun doing it. It's just keep it real, just pour my heart out, have my own style of things, and it's learning curve stuff, but I'm just enjoy doing it, sharing things to people. So that's the great thing about it.
Now, how long ago did you start to making YouTube videos?
Well, I first started my YouTube channel back in 2014, and I think something like that. Wow, it's like time flies. But for the past few years, and I guess I got comfortable with it. I started doing audios and stuff like that at first, and I keep myself low. Then I started showing my doing videos. To me, that was like a different level, doing videos, and so it's like for the past like maybe 3 years, something like that. Three years so, I've been doing it, and get comfortable doing it after a while. Stuff that I'm sharing is pretty deep. Got to get through a lot of the hurdles in your own mind about whether you're going to make sense of stuff that you're saying or not. And I just kind of like, you know what? I just got to just be myself. I know a lot of people that sub to my channel run across my video could connect with me at some level. And so yeah, it's definitely fun doing this.
Now, what got you started on the whole sovereign citizen path?
Well, my friend, she told me almost like a little bit over 2 years. She first told me about the whole thing about the birth certificate thing, and and I saw it on YouTube. I didn't really quickly got. I didn't jump into it right away. I was just like, okay, I'll watch it another time. So when I finally got into it, um, the very first stuff I started seeing that was to stop the pirates. This guy named Jeff. I sent you information about his channel. I saw him. His channel seems interesting. Then I ran into Joanna, and she had a lot more videos and about the whole thing with the birth certificate worth billions of dollars. And I was like, look, we looked at it and like, I was kind of a little skeptical about it, but we just kept going. I mean, I just stepped forward. I went at it full time about it, and like, wow, stuff sounds really interesting because the information between the other site stop the pirate. And then her, it's like this could be legit, but I just had to like look into it. So I kind of, I'll be honest with you, I kind of got sold into the whole person.
Right. Um, her like when I found out about her, when I started researching her a little bit, because somebody told me. I don't even remember how I found. I think I stumbled across a video. Somebody was talking about her or something. But when I went to her site and started doing research to make a video on her, um, like regardless of the fact that the sovereign citizen shit doesn't sell to me, but um, when I saw her talking about the Queen of England being a reptilian, that's where I was like, okay, it's quite official. She's batshit. There's something wrong with this woman. Like, I don't know. I couldn't. Even if she was selling a product that I had interest in, the moment somebody says reptilians, aliens, New World Order, Illuminati, blah 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 blah, I immediately start going, "Oh, hold up there, Captain." That didn't like when she talked, or did you not see the video where she talked about reptilians or videos?
No, I didn't see that. I start seeing a lot of stuff about her a little bit more afterwards. Like I started realizing this is like after I purchased the. I just didn't see this. I just didn't go
Right,
further into the
right.
videos. But when I bought the e-course packet and I started learning more about she's into well one first thing came up that she's into witchcraft. Okay, then that from there she basically talked about. I heard about the reptilian stuff, and yeah, I've been hearing about the whole thing with the Queen Elizabeth stuff and New World Order. But yeah, a lot of people was getting on her about the reptilian thing. But yeah, I learned about that afterwards about her videos. That I still haven't looked at those videos so much, but I heard about it.
Yeah,
I was just so focused on a little bit more about this birth certificate and the social security and all that other stuff. What does it mean? And but yeah, yeah, I just
yeah. Um, Now you said you bought her package.
yeah.
What? How much was that?
Well, I got a deal on it. She was running like a sale on it. I paid like a little bit less than 300, opposed to some people will pay on an average $400.
Uh huh.
$400 is when she would like the one that I purchased for like around under $300. She'll send you the packet, but you have to do most of the work, like filing stuff like that,
Right.
you know. But if you pay $800 or more, I think she runs. Our last check, she runs for her. If you want her to do everything for you, the last I checked was like $1,000.
Yeah.
Before it was $800, but she raised it up to $1,000, and she
The
does all the work for you.
the last time I looked at her website, there were at least two packages that were like $1,500 and $1,200. So the prices are
Wow.
steadily going up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the. She was running like some sort of. I guess she was just trying to get more people to join, and
Right.
that's why at the time she got the lower deal. But still, in all, it's the same packet, the same crap. Excuse
Right.
my language.
No, there's no
It,
language filter. You can cuss.
uh, but yeah, yeah. It's just it was quite an experience.
Now, what did it actually consist of? Was it like a chat room or just an email, or I mean, what was in it? What all pertained to it?
Well, the packet basically, okay, it has like, let's just say, let me just pull it up here. I'm gonna read it real quick. Just trying to, because I was just looking at it early, just to go over. Okay, here it is. The first packet. Okay, it pretty much, yeah, just have to file like bogus. First, you have to file the UCC. Okay, that's like the first thing, the UCC. Right, and after
Commercial
that, you get to do,
commercial code?
yeah, yeah, it's just about commerce.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that you have to do that to get the power of attorney, then all kinds of stuff. The W-8 foreign status, you have to fill that out. birth certificate, and 1040. It gets very technical. I didn't say all these stuff in my review because it's just so much stuff. I just had to give like a general review on it. The first packet, it just contains of you basically sending out letters to the Treasury, actually, in Puerto Rico, the U.S. Treasury, just basically giving them notice, that you're terminating your franchise with the
Now, did you do
with
that?
the government. Yeah, I did it. Followed the instructions. Sent the green card to the Treasury in Puerto Rico. First, I have to get a security agreement. That's the first thing you do, the security agreement. Then you have your power of attorney. Then you have to get it notarized, okay, and get what do you call it? The county didn't want to put it. They didn't want to keep it. They didn't want to record it. They just record it. Excuse me. So I had to get it. I had to go to get notice and get it recorded. Right. Somehow the county wasn't honoring the stuff. They didn't want to mess with it. Told that, oh, that's just typical normal stuff. So I went to get notice. You get your stuff recorded, and then I sent the stuff, the rest of the packet, the first packet to the Treasury in Puerto Rico. So I got a green card back from them, acknowledging that they received it. Okay, and from there, after you sent that, then you have to wait. Then I sent the second packet. Okay, let me just pull that up here.
Now, when you sent these packets, did they send you any kind of correspondence? Like, did they reply in email or in physical letter or anything?
No, it's just that if you get like a green card stating that they got it, also you got to put like it's like a, what do you call it, a postal number that you have. Some of the stuff I've kind of done all this stuff, so I'm trying to go back because I really stopped. I kind of dropped this whole process. I mean, I didn't follow up with it. Just to be honest with you, I'm a little rusty about it.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just not okay. I got a response from them, but that was it, from just a green card. It just because there was a delay of them finding the stuff in the first place in Puerto Rico, and then they emailed me, say, yeah, we got it, but nothing saying about your status change or anything, some sort of correction change, nothing. That was it. So then I had to send the second packet, the first packet and the second packet. Let's see here, I'm trying to. And the second packet is something that a lot of people was complaining about it because there was really nothing happening.
A lot of people in her group, and like a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of the problem is that a lot of people in the group, they're very faithful. Okay, they've been with her for a while. Okay, they're sitting there waiting about something's going to change for them, and I'm like, nobody. There's people like myself was asking questions like, well, did anybody got any results about this, or nobody didn't want to say anything too much. A lot of people asked questions, but a lot of people didn't want to answer. Someone that's been in it for a while in the group, and I'm starting to see the pattern about that.
Right.
I kept in touch with some people in the group that his situation is different, because everybody's situation is different. But the thing is that when he did the process, he was there before me. Nothing's happened. He's saying, look, he said, hey, Cresso, I find myself in, I'm in more debt. The mortgage company's hounding me. I'm like, and I've done everything, and I don't own a home, but I was like, listen to what he's saying. I'm like, okay, and I look at my situation. Nothing's happening after I sent the second packet and all that. It didn't take long to realize that the system is not honoring this stuff. I started realizing right away. And when nobody wasn't really answering or coming forward and say, hey, look, this is what's, some legitimate testimony. Hey, this is what I have, or show something. I don't know. Just nobody was, she just, Druanna had like recorded audios of somebody saying, yeah, I did this, I did that. But that's it, you know, and all this stuff is bogus. I mean, just looking back now, I'm like, it's just, it's literally insane.
Yeah.
Um, for anybody. I mean, look, I fell for it, but just looking back at it now, I'm like, this stuff is really insane.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing about scams, though. While you're involved in it, it doesn't feel like a scam. It's not until the
nah,
scam has played out and you're out your money and she's laughing her way to the bank. That's
of
when
course.
it feels like a scam.
Of course, of course. And the thing is, a lot of people a lot of people don't realize is that when by doing all of this, okay, it's like you're still in the system. No, I'm starting to realize because it's like the whole thing with the social security number about it's like the whole thing about you being the executor of the number. It's like it's the the typical straw man stuff,
Right.
which is ridiculous. And since the number, and this is what I've learned through the movement, the number is part of a foreign corporation, and it's not to you. You don't own that number. It's just not yours. And to remove yourself from the number, expect to maintain control of that number, it just doesn't make no sense. It's like how could anyone expect to collect money that are backing of a number of a fictional being? Because that's the whole thing with the whole thing's fiction. Because the U.S. is a corporation.
Right.
It's information. You could go to Delaware. You go to Duns and Backstreet in Delaware and prove that the United States government is a corporation. But besides that, everyone going through this UCC process, okay, it's like you're still in the jurisdiction of the system. Okay, you're really not helping yourselves. This is what I'm learning now, and it's a lot. The thing is that the catch is that the marketing thing is tell people this pitch that the birth certificate is worth billions of dollars, okay, of credit, and I have some of my subscribers. They have some great questions. They said stuff like, if she's a billionaire, why don't she offer this stuff for free if she claims that? Or why, it's like, it's a good question. I'm like, I didn't really thought of it like that. I'm like, that's true.
Well, I
And
actually that was gonna be one of my questions. I didn't bring it up in the video. I should in the video I made about her, but I should have. I think
yeah,
if she has some kind of access to this information and she's performed this procedure and proven that it works to a degree that she's willing to sell it to others, A, she should technically be a billionaire. And
of course.
B, money is no concern. So she should be doing this for free. If she's going to do it at all, it should be done for free. Now, I'm not saying a person shouldn't profit. Of course, a person should profit. But when
Yeah.
you have billions of dollars and you have the potential to be able to set people free from what you're calling some kind of corporation prison that they're in the United States, then it's not about money anymore. It's about a moral responsibility. If you have that information, it should be a moral responsibility for you to share it. And furthermore, her videos do not indicate somebody that's a billionaire. She's recorded videos from hotel rooms. She was living in a dumpy ass place in Mexico for a while. I mean, these are not billionaire quality videos. These are fucking I'm running from the feds quality videos.
Yeah, 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 pretty much. It's. I mean, the fact that she's able to travel. Let's just say, because people say she's traveling. I have some of my subscribers. People comment on my video that she changed her name. She's in this place and that place. And if that's the case, if she's able to travel, she's wanted by the federal. Okay, then she should be stopped at the minute she show her passport.
Well, that's
Okay,
the
because they
thing.
have a system.
That's the thing.
You know,
People have said that to me before. They've said, well, in a comment on one of my in my Druanna videos, somebody said, "Well, I don't think she could go to um, Scotland because they would stop her at the airport." And but that's not how it works. Unless Interpol or something like that has a want has her wanted, which she hasn't done anything to warrant Interpol. she's not going to get stopped. If she gets stopped by the police in Scotland, for example, and the Scotland police just happen to call America and say, "Hey, I got this American citizen here who's or U.S. citizen here who is was speeding or driving without a license or something. Is there any chance that you guys want her back?" I mean, they're not going to do that. They're not going to know what she's wanted for in the U.S. and they're not, frankly, going to care unless it's something big that Interpol would be involved in. They're not going to know. They'd have to call the United States to get that information, and they're not going to do that unless they're trying to get rid of her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I know what you mean because I think is that long as you're a U.S. citizen and they'll come after as different places around the world. I mean, I've just not to go off topic. I look at Edward Snowden and his situation, for example, and I don't know if he's still in Russia, but he's still a U.S. citizen.
Right.
Maybe there's a loophole, obviously, that you go to certain parts of the world, the U.S. citizen can't go there. A U.S. government can go there.
Russia has no extradition treaty, so they can't, the U.S. can't say, "Hey, Russia, send me Snowden." Snowden will just say, "Well, kiss my ass, come get him."
Yeah.
Now we do have an extradition treaty with Scotland, which is, as far as I'm aware, where she's at right now. But like I said, unless she does something to actually get arrested, there's the police there aren't just going to go look for her. Our police can't go look for her. It has to be something like Interpol. And Interpol's got bigger fish to fry. They don't give a shit about somebody evading taxes and being wanted for child support and all that stupid shit.
Yeah. The only way that her business will be shut down is people being aware of it, getting the word out, and word does get around. You start to build this reputation, and no matter how many times she changes her name, she's still vibing with that same scam tactic. People are just slowly but slowly, she's just not going to have anybody to buy her stuff.
Right. She'll transform, though, as more and more people become aware of her sovereign citizen scam. She'll drift off of it. She's already started. She'll drift off of the sovereign thing and start the spiritual guru path, which she's already started. The whole psychic healer and all that shit. She's already selling services for psychic healing. So she claims that she can cure your cancer with her psychic abilities. And she's already selling that product. So she's already, I guess, diversifying, I guess is a good word.
Yeah. No, I don't know. The thing is, people like her, I hate to say this, but some people like her, they serve a purpose. I guess they're there just for us to wake up, and I can say that what I got from out of this e-course, I just kept going. I just kept researching because I was upset for the time being about how regardless of money I paid, but the stuff that I was sending and realizing people was having problems legally and all that. I'm fortunate I haven't had any problems with the system.
Right.
And I just didn't go further. Like I didn't keep on sending documents. That's another thing I forgot to mention. A lot of people were saying, hey, I kept sending my UCC or I kept sending that and they get a warning letter from the system. I think it was actually somebody commented on one of my video about that, and I just advised them to stop. Don't drop it all together. But what I got out of this whole thing is I just kept going, and I ran into some other stuff, and I looking back now, I was like, this is crazy. This is definitely not going to do anything to free you. There is no birth certificate that's worth credits. Billions of dollars of credits.
Right.
It's misinformation.
You say you stopped sending in the packets, the information, the letters, whatever. Had you
Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I did the second packet. I sent that right to the Treasury. The second packet is to the Treasury, the local Treasury, and sorry about that. The local Treasury, okay, and the IRS. Based over in Utah. Okay. I got a response from them, a green card that they got it, but nothing, my status didn't change from a debtor to a secure creditor. Okay, I'm still considered a debtor still. That's the thing. People are still waiting to become, wow, I'm gonna finally be a secure creditor and stuff like that. You're still a debtor.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
there's no way to fix that. I mean, that's it.
Not as long as you're a U.S. citizen, as long as you're a U.S. citizen, you're gonna still you're still subject to these things.
Yeah,
Credit as a debt, yeah. I mean, all that stuff is tied in, but people going about it in a way like a lot of people not aware about what they're doing, and I wasn't aware of what I was doing, but I just did the second packet. But here's another letter. I believe I mentioned this to you on the side. Is this what do you call it? The deadly letter, the deadly weapon letter. Excuse me.
yeah. I
She
remember her
boasted
reading.
about.
I read about that on her
She
website.
boasted. Yeah, she boasted about that, and I can't see any of this stuff back up by law. Honestly, looking back now, I don't. I sent it to like a title loan, and I sent it to another a bill collection, and they still sending me notice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
They don't recognize it because it's not real.
no, no, they don't, no, they don't honor it. So, and that's the thing, I was trying to tell people. This stuff is like if you're gonna invest in your money on something, okay, it's best to invest your money in something that's gonna really help you. But this is gonna get you further and further into more debt, further and further into a jam. And all these people, I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to look down on people, but people play the role as minions. All right. If you're gonna sit there and be her minion and waiting for this rainbow to come to be at the other end of the rainbow, go right ahead. I'm straight with people, very straightforward. But I'm not, we people are capable of like waking up and see the stuff for what it is. Okay. I mean, how many people in the group? I mean, she closed one group down. She has a website. She reopens another site. I didn't look at it yet, but
Oh,
I mean, a lot of people just hanging around her.
she's closed the website or her previous website.
The one she had like over a year ago. I forgot the name of it. I think because stuff that's been. I think she's been bombarded with a lot of stuff. People be coming after her, so she changed her website.
Right.
I had to remove it because people were saying, "Hey, I'm not her site is not there no more." So I think a lot of people are starting to catch wind more and more. And every now and then, I get she sends me messages. Joanna, she has a couple of YouTube accounts. I could right away tell. She sends me direct message or a comment, right? But it'll disappear. Somehow it's not there. It's like she just says it and then deletes it.
Yeah.
And she plays that. And I think when she first saw my review, she really exposes herself. I left her comment there. I didn't want to delete it. I left the comment there because I wanted people to see for themselves. Because I originally want to do it. I mean, obviously, I am doing a review to focus on the product. I don't know her. I don't know. I don't. Whatever she does, whatever she believes, whatever. That's her business.
Right.
But the focus I want is what she's selling. Okay, what you're selling, and you're not being straight up with people. Okay, it's like, and then when she exposed herself, she allowed her own ego get so huge. I just left all the comments there, let people judge for themselves.
Did she delete the
Now,
comments?
no, 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 I believe it's still there. I believe it's still there.
What
So I had to do, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what'd she say? What's in her comments?
Oh man. Well, one of the stuff it was so hilarious. One of the stuff things she thought I was a paid show.
All right, of
I
course.
take down
Everybody's a page still.
she told me she said something about that I'm taking down the real heroes. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm taking like okay, I'm being paid by the system to basically give people a heads up about the scam. Okay, right. But no, she was just saying she was just insulting me, whatever. I don't remember. She's just a lot of crap she was saying. I'm like, and people start seeing it. I'm like, and all I just told her, I was like, look, the more you keep opening your mouth, you're just hurting yourself.
Yeah, I've
You can't,
seen I've
yeah.
seen videos where she's commented on the video and then logged onto another account and commented on her comment and like talking about blah blah blah, she's right and she knows what she's talking about and you can tell it's the same
I see
person.
that. I see that many times from her. She plays that and she I see.
Like you can tell, like from the grammar, from the way the sentence structure is, the punctuation, the spelling, you can tell it's her.
Yeah, of course, of course, and that's why she deletes it. And a lot of these fake YouTube accounts she has, and there's actually people that sub to my channel, uh, attack her, meaning to say stuff, and there's some people know that it's her. People. And that's the thing. You see, that's the thing I want. This is the thing the purpose of me doing my video, because you know, every man and woman is not. I mean, we pretend to be stupid, but there is an intelligence in there. Now, the truth is that how we go about our lives, that's the individual. Okay, people catch on, and once people say to themselves, you know what, this stuff, this game that I put myself into is just not worth it. It ain't for me. I'm just gonna pick myself up and just do something else or educate myself further, into this. And that's the thing. I really like people catching on. It's sometimes I don't have the answers for all of these things, why the craziness goes around this world, but it's like, hey, things happen for a reason, And like I said, I can't sit here and feel frustrated with the e-course experience. Again, it served its purpose. I definitely
You learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson. Yeah, yeah. And I tell everybody that's listening, if you're thinking about buying an e-course, look, now we're starting to see more videos about her. I'm glad. That's why when I comment on your video, I'm glad to see people starting to see this. Like, this is really cool. Word's getting out more and more. So she may have a lot of subscribers and stuff like that. Whatever it is, that's fine. But the thing is, if anyone out there, before you start buying stuff, really think about it, because I mean,
The
it's
problem
not worth it.
the
Yeah.
problem with exposing her is unless somebody with a huge channel does it, it's basically a pointless thing. I mean, it's a lost cause because I have what 728 subscribers. Of those
Hmm.
728 subscribers, none of them are involved with her in any way. She's got what a couple 100,000 subscribers, probably. I don't even know how many she's got. Let's just assume 100,000.
Yeah.
That's 100,000 people that will probably never see my video. They'll probably never see your videos. They'll probably never see anybody else's videos because they're not looking for that sort of thing. If they were like sitting in her e-course chat room or whatever one day and suddenly got a hair up their ass to say, you know what, let's go see if she's exposed. Let's go see if somebody's talking shit about her. But they're not. They're already bought into the program. They're already convinced that she's not talking shit.
Yeah. Well, when and I have somewhat of experience with Google, with how the whole um, analytics work, and since YouTube is with Google, anything with her name that you type, I tested out myself. My review is right there, along with everybody else too. And a lot of people commented to me or sent me a message thanking me for the review, because there was people willing to spend $700 to $800. And I mean, before we buy anything, the first thing we're going to look at is a review
Yeah.
on anything, right?
Well,
So
that's the way it's supposed to be, anyways.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, but I mean, at least I could say, at least whatever amount of people view my that video on her course, and it's like something over 30, in the neighborhood of close to 35,000 people. Hey, if they got something out of it and it helped them to, not invest into a scam, great. I'm happy. It's not a vendetta against her. She's gonna do what she does, regardless of what I say. Is that I feel in me that I just want to look out for my fellow man, because I would like someone to do that for me.
Right.
So, you
If you
know,
can stop one person, then you helped at least one person not throw their money away.
of course,
How
of
many
course,
people would you estimate she's probably fucked out of money so far?
a lot, a lot, a lot. I could tell you from last time, that last page, that the her a private, no, it's not a private, her website that
Mm-hmm.
she had on the side. I think it's called Sovereign gods or something like that, sovereign gods or something like that. Excuse me. She had like maybe at least a couple of hundreds of people, something like that. I'm not sure what she have on a new site now, but whenever she starts to attack me and send me and send a stupid insult, I could tell she's hurting for business. That's some too. That's something I'm starting to realize. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling because only somebody is very insecure and very threatened will just go out of their way and do things like that. I look at these things like I know on a psychological level.
So how
Um,
many did you say? A couple hundred or a couple thousand? I didn't catch that.
I'm sorry, but she had like a couple of hundred from her old site. I don't know how many people she has on her new site,
Well,
but I think right now she's carefully screening people to join the site now because,
right.
um,
Let's
you know,
assume we'll assume small numbers. We'll assume that everybody on the old site got a good deal and paid $300, and we'll assume that there's 300 of them. That'd be $90,000 she made just off of lying to people.
easy, yeah,
$90,000, and that's assuming small numbers.
easy,
But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if you consider that she's got packages now that are $1,500, and let's just assume that maybe 200 people have bought that package. That's $300,000 that she's made.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, I could see that. And she's been doing this for a while. She's been claiming that she's done it for like over 8, 9 years and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, so she's definitely, but
Yeah, and then
there's,
in that video she
yeah,
talks about her exact words were something to the effect of, I haven't really told you guys this, but I get paid to make YouTube videos. That's what I do for a living. I make YouTube videos. YouTube pays me, and I travel around the world and spread the word. YouTube does. Her videos don't get enough views to warrant traveling around the world, but her scam certainly does.
yeah, 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 I know. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I've heard story of people making some. I don't expect a lot of money from YouTube. I've heard some stories. I didn't look into it, but no, it's definitely a lot. The bulk of her money is from her the e-course she sells. Um,
Now, do you have to pay to be on the website? Like, is it a subscription-based website?
no, no. No, you once you're paid for her e-course, um, you get into the site. There's a couple of sites. I haven't gone there in a while. There's another site she has that when you're able to download. You're able to download the packet or go back and to look at the video. She has like four videos that comes with the e-course. That's part of the e-course packet. The video is not all that organized anyway, but like there's one video she has that was nothing to do with the e-course. Like I pay money for this. Like it's just an example, but it's not. It's just not really organized. But
See,
so there's a site you're able to
that would be
download this
another
stuff.
problem, like a red
Yeah.
flag to me. If I paid for a package and I was aware of the fact that she's made hundreds of thousands of dollars on this program already, and then I got a video from her that was not put together well and disorganized and looked shitty, I would think to myself, why in the fuck aren't you paying somebody to make your videos? Why aren't you getting professionally made, high quality content to send people for this absurd amount of money you're asking?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
It's
I
just
had
amazing.
$300,000 in the bank, the only part of a YouTube video that I would be involved in would be the idea and the voice. I would have somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing do the editing and sound work and putting it all together and the graphics. I wouldn't be doing that shit. I want it to look good. And
Of course.
if I
Of
got
course.
$300,000, I think I can make that happen.
Of course. Definitely. Something also I want to mention that my friend she told me she listened like a while ago. She heard one of a video and she made a comment on one of a video that she was made a comment that she was tapped out of money that she was going through something. I'm like, this was after I brought the package. Like, how do you be able to be tapped out if you have all that money, or if you talk about this birth certificate? I'm sorry, I don't know which clip, but one of the clips she mentioned. It's like you have to really pay attention, really
So you're
carefully.
saying Druanna, however the fuck you say her name, she's out of money?
Yeah,
She claims she's out of
she
money?
yeah she made a comment about that. My friend caught that, and I already purchased the e-course anyway. But she made a comment that she was tapped out and stuff like that. How she was just trying to make ends meet or something like that. And I heard that like this seems really odd. Like it's like, but yeah, it was just it's just obvious. It's just again, this is you have to understand about. She has an understanding of the to come at people that's desperate
Yeah.
that want to get themselves out of
That's my
you want to
biggest problem with the sovereign citizen thing. It's not the ground level sovereign citizens that are researching, that are trying to figure out what this is, what it means for them. It's the high level sovereign citizens, the guys at the top that are spreading this shit and spreading it for a profit, because they're fucking people over. They're causing
yeah
they're not solving their debt problems. They're fucking them people that are already in financial binds, fucking them out of money, and usually big quantities of money. And they're preying on the people that are most susceptible to get out of our problem quick scams. So, I mean, when you're good, when you got plenty of money, when your mortgage is paid up, when your car note's not fucking 3 months behind, you're not looking for means to find some kind of relief for those problems. But
hmm
the minute your mortgage is up and you got creditors calling you every 35 minutes and your fucking car's about to get impounded, then that's when you start actually looking for solutions outside of paying the people. And then she comes
yeah
along and says,
yeah
"Hey, look, for $800, I can make it so you never have to pay another bill the rest of your life." That shit's awful fucking appealing when you're about to lose your car and your house.
this whole thing with the discharge debt, that's another misinformation I learned through the past over the year. It's just there's no it's really not proven. I mean, if you search on YouTube about the A4B and all that stuff, I mean, people would talk philosophize with these bogus documents.
Well,
Yet,
the thing about A4V is it's been demonstrably proven wrong, and it's been so for years.
yeah,
It's just that so many people get on the internet and talk about it as though it was real that it kind of drowns out the truth.
mm, exactly. I mean, look, I'll say this: I've heard story that people able to quote unquote did it. Now, if somebody able to do this and get away with it, you might, the system will catch on and will close that. But the point is, these remedies these people talk about, it's not lawful remedies, and it's going to get you in a real big problems. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I
all you have to
mean,
do is look at court cases. When people start
exactly.
arguing the sovereign citizen thing with me,
Mhm.
they have like these there's two court cases. I can't remember what they are right now, but there's two court cases that they always try to use as an example as why they're right and I'm wrong. And when you go and actually look at the court cases, one of them was the sovereign in the argument didn't win the court case. They just didn't go to jail. And they write that off as a win. There was another case where a woman in Florida had the court system tied up, costing taxpayer money for over a year because she didn't want to pay a $20 pet licensing fee. And
Mhm.
eventually the court said, look, this has cost the state thousands and thousands of dollars fighting with your dumbass in court. Fuck it. You don't have to pay the fee. Just get the fuck out of the system. Get out of here. Stop costing money. And
Mhm.
they write that off as a win. To them, that's a win. It's not a win when the system rejects you, but but throws you out because you're costing people money. That's not a win. It's just you're a nuisance. You're a burden on society.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate these things happens, and people just have to see it for themselves. I mean, people say things like the more we talk about it, she becomes more popular. I'm like, you know what? My mentality is this:
She
is
needs
that you
to.
just plant the seed. Well, I mean, we just have to plant the seed.
Yeah.
Get like what we're doing right now, and that's what we could do. I mean, I was talking to my friend of mine about it yesterday that, I don't want to be anybody's savior. I don't. People are going to have to save themselves. People are going to have to educate themselves. People have to they have to wake up. We could plant the seed and talk to people about the truth, but it's up to the individual whether they're going to accept it or not. Now, I know it feels great, sounds great that you have a birth certificate that looks like a bond that you can just, wow, have infinite credit. That sounds great. But the truth is, it's not, and that's the thing. It's a marketing scheme.
Right.
I mean, just again, looking back at it now, I'm like, I'm not, I mean, I was hard on myself a little bit for, but I can't believe I fall for this crap. But no, it's like, look, it's a learning thing, but at least I stopped. At least I'm not continuously going forward with this garbage,
Right.
with her e-course. But she's not the only one. I mean, doing this. And there's other places that talks about the UCC. And let me just say this also about the UCC. Anybody that promotes the UCC on the internet, okay, anything that ties with the UCC is not going to help your problems. You're still following the Roman civil law, okay. That's what it ties down to. Okay, this UCC is going to get you into a lot of problems. Okay, and it's not just Druanna promoted. She may have a high audience, but there's other player I mentioned to you about Stop the Pirate, Jeff.
Right.
Okay, seems very informative, and there's other names that even one of my subscribers mentioned. Or have you heard about this person? That I haven't, but there's a lot of people, and it's right now. Druanna seems to be the main face on YouTube with this stuff. But
Now, I don't
just
have the link. You sent me a link yesterday of the.
Stop the Pirate.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have that anymore, but I went and looked at a video. I just picked one at random, and like the first, I would say 60 seconds, maybe the first minute of the video, he's just sitting there, really poorly lit, really fucking bad sound quality. He's just sitting there like staring at the camera while there's an audio clip playing in the background, like a fake phone call with the president or something like that. And
Yeah,
then like just 60 seconds into a 20-minute video, and I was like, ugh, what the fuck.
of course. Yeah, it's this. Yeah, he was the first guy that when I first started to learn about this, and he seemed very convincing. I did a review on his stuff. Um, Honestly, I took it down. I took the review down. I
Now
took a couple of clips down.
is he
Yeah,
selling is he selling the same program? Is he trying to make money selling this shit to people?
his no, yeah, he is, but it's nowhere near like not like Joanna. He will email you a bulk of information that he collected from since the 90s. Okay, and he has like an easy flow chart to figure out what steps to take. And that was the first thing I bought before I went to Joanna. It was confusing as hell. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what does this mean? What does that? I'm like, what is it? Because I comes completely new with this stuff.
Right.
And it's a lot of information, but it was just it was a lot. He doesn't offer any e-course. He sends he asked for a donation, like $60, but the information is like you have to figure out yourself, basically. And on his stuff, people will be complaining about having issues and stuff like that. So now all his videos, for example, is disabled. Like he disabled his comment section, so you can't really yeah, pretty much you can't comment on his video.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and a lot of people starting to see about Joanna. She stopped or she disabled some of her video comments.
Right.
So
Now, have you had any interaction with the first guy? That like did when you made your videos, did he come and say shit to you?
no, he never really came at me about it. He wasn't. I got a response from an email once, and that was it. He doesn't really return emails at all to people.
Of course.
It's not just me. I could tell it's from anybody.
Yeah.
And
Once he's got your money, he doesn't need to talk to you.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, he doesn't have as much as a fan base as compared to some people, but he definitely he definitely have a little bit of a good fan base. And again, it's for him or or anybody that does with this UCC is to really stay away from that stuff. I'm not convinced. I mean, I'm convinced that some of these people either they're ignorant or they're inoperative. I'm very convinced about it. It's just makes you wonder, like, damn, it's crazy that people just literally continuously feed you this garbage and really know, like, oh wow, I can't believe I'm screwing people over and don't have a conscience, like, oh, let me just stop. But it's all about money. It's all about getting your money. That's all it is.
Right.
People have to see this for themselves.
Right.
There was a quote. As I'm talking, I'm trying to look for this quote from the CIA, the chief CIA. Um, apologize. It's a quote that about basically having this misinformation out. Oh, here it is. William Casey, CIA Director, 1981. It's we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believe is false. So, and I saw that, and I keep seeing the same quote here and there, and I'll research it more further. But I'm pretty sure I'm open-minded that the system is going to have people that is well funded. Hey, let's just throw this pitch to people, and they're gonna fall for that because a lot of people are in debt. People need help, so let's just throw this stuff at people, and yeah, and yet so many people are convicted, because they're puppets too. Joanna's a puppet.
Now,
She's
there's
playing role as a puppet.
a while back there was um, you know how cruise ships will have like these specials where they'll have like everybody from a certain group will take a cruise together and make it like a big event. They have like gay cruises and what are some other?
The Seaspiracy.
Yeah. They had
Whatever
a
it's
conspiracy cruise. Skylar says it was a seaspiracy.
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Look it up.
But it was basically all these different brands of conspiracy theorists and sovereign citizens and tax evaders and blah 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 blah. All these different types of people, and they all got on a cruise ship and went out on a cruise, and they would have their seminars and they would play mini golf and they would go swimming together and just have a grand conspiracy time. And
Yeah.
when the ship came back to the U.S. and docked in port, the police were there and collected all of the head honchos, all of the speakers, all of the people trying to sell tax evasion. Got them all. It was magical.
Oh wow, I never heard of that. That's interesting. Wow.
I mean, why would you pass up an opportunity? They're all in one area. They're all stuck in a port. Get them while you can.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, what Joanna, for example, like I was telling some people, she's just gonna dig her own grave, and that's what she's doing. And whether she's able to travel around different parts of the world, there's a loophole into it. You know, I, I just, I just like tell people to really focus on a solution. I mean, it's good to be aware of this stuff, um, but if anybody pay for e-course, and if you're in it, if something's not working, just stop what you're doing.
Yeah,
Be anyone be
that's the key thing is if if you've bought the package and you're doing the paperwork, you're sending in the letters and stuff, and it doesn't seem to be working, the best fucking bet right then and there is to probably stop. Stop sending in the
yeah,
packages because it's going to cost you in the long run even more than the original cost of the package.
yeah, definitely. I mean, she's not gonna give you money back too. And this is a thing too. And anybody that's in her group or anything like that, if you question, that's the thing about her character too. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring this up in the beginning. If you question some of the stuff that she's teaching, all that, she'll remove you off the group.
Really?
She, yeah,
So
she will.
you've given her money and then you question it and she kicks you out. That's pretty fucked up.
It's not me. I've
Oh yeah,
seen
yeah.
her stories from other members,
Yeah, I
but
didn't mean you
she will.
specifically.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay. No, I've heard she definitely has that character. Her personality. She definitely and again, yeah. Once you pay 400, 800 to 1,000, $1,200, you're not getting your money back. You know, it is at you. It is at your risk.
Yeah.
But she's selling some stuff, claiming legal stuff, bogus stuff, right? And
Now,
It ain't getting you anywhere.
did you
Yeah.
look at her website before you bought the package?
I looked at it. She changed her site. Um, I looked at it and I'm like, I thought about it. I put a lot of thought into this. I really did. Before I bought a packet, I put a lot of thought into it. Because my friend, when she first told me about this, I wasn't really like, I just didn't want to look into it at first. I'm like, I'm not sure. But yeah, I got caught into it.
Now,
Once I start looking into it, I look at a site and it looks basic. It look like Microsoft website or any other big corporation site. It looks very basic and stuff, but I realized like, wow, I just I just didn't really it just didn't it wasn't enough for me to stop going forward with it at the time.
I'm guessing when you did this, how long ago was it?
Like going to be like 2 years ago.
Yeah, when you did this, she used a different website than she uses now. So I don't know what's on her old website, but I went to
It
her.
looks almost the same. It looks almost the same though. It's the same site, it's the same name, Secure Creditor or something like that.
Yeah,
She just changed she
the
created more bogus nonsense testimony stuff that anybody could do.
yeah.
And all the stuff and oh yeah, that famous student loan snapshot, that how your student loan's been wiped away and stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah,
or
yeah,
off a
yeah,
remedy. That's like but people have to see this for themselves. But again, there's a lot of people that's desperate.
yeah.
And it is frustrating. When I focus about it, it is frustrating. But look, like I did, like for me, I purchased some stuff, you know, and it didn't work. I sent my letters out, and I sent all the copies of my bills and everything from the second packet, the copies of my bills to the IRS and to the Treasury. And I don't want to go too further in detail because I don't want anybody listening and to do the same thing. Okay, I just want to say that I've done the second packet. I followed the instructions, and I sent my bills to these places with these doing or filling out particular forms and stuff. Nothing happened.
Right.
Nothing happened. I look at my bills within like let's say 30 days, for example, right? Nothing happened. There's no change. I'm still getting phone calls. A lot of people going through that at the group. A lot of people asking like, how come there's nobody sharing anything that's been here for a while? I even comment on it. No one responds to my comment either in the group. And I'm like, that's what I was starting to see that this something's not right about this stuff.
Right.
But a lot of people are hanging around with her, and they're in this illusion that their bill is going to magically disappear by going through a remedy like that. I mean,
Well, when I went to her website, and obviously it's been changed a little since you went there, but when I went there, there was actually a legal disclaimer on the website that said none of this is considered legal advice. Use at your own risk. Blah 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 blah. I mean, she has to put that because if she doesn't, then she's got a court case. People can actually take her to court. But the minute I saw that, I was like, wow, how can people come to this website and see right here where it says legal advice package, and then right here where it says this is not legal advice?
the old marketing scheme that we see on commercials, thing looks so big and bold and all that,
Right,
with the right fonts, with the right image and stuff like that.
right.
Yeah, that's how it reels you in. But yeah, but that birth certificate
Well, that's like
is like her.
I was talking about yesterday, that psychology and advertising. There's
Mhm.
there's ways to play with people's brains and fool them into paying money for shit without being without selling something that I would consider a good product, just by psychologically playing games with them.
Of course, of course. And I don't know if you heard about this, but this whole thing with the birth certificate tied with the fidelity site and all that. People say, yeah, I went there and I saw how much I have in my birth certificate. I checked that out too. And I don't know anything about it like that. And there's really you look at it like this. There's nobody there you can talk to about this. You can't take a birth certificate to the Fidelity local branch. Say, hey, can you punch this in? Can you tell me what this means? Can I cash it in? Or what can I do with it? Can I invest into it or whatever? There's no place you could go there and do that. Okay. And that's the thing. I realized that once I realized that there was, one is it's very hard to try to get access to that money. That's the thing. A lot of people want access to that money. But Joanna mentioned that no, you can't just go there and just cash it. You just use it as a credit to discharge, only to discharge debt. But there's really no concrete way of going about it.
Right.
That's the thing. There's not, and that's those are one of the moments that I was having to myself like this is for it to be that hard and it's not clear to you. I'm like this stuff is something wrong here, you know, and there's too many holes in this. Too many holes. Again, just go to YouTube and just punch in birth certificate worth millions and stuff. You see stuff that's been there, videos been there for 5 years, 6 years, or whatever, and it's nothing updated. And there's nothing anything legitimacy going on. It's just so obvious. After you get caught onto this stuff, everything becomes clear to you. It's like this stuff is garbage.
Right. I have a email. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I had a video that I uploaded. It was my channel trailer video, and it didn't have. When I uploaded it, it got claimed. Somebody copyright claimed it, and they can't. They're not supposed to, anyways, because I own the video. I paid for the material that's in it. It's legally my video. I can upload it and I can monetize it, but somebody automatically claimed it anyways. So I sent a letter to my MCN and explained what was going on and asked them if there was any way I could get it unclaimed. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's a short video. The 20 cents or whatever that the video would make is really irrelevant. What mattered to me was somebody else making money off something they don't own. So I wanted to try to stop that. And long story short, the MCN wasn't really able to help me there. I would have to go through and file all this bullshit with YouTube, and it would be a big nightmare. And I just said, screw it, it ain't that big of a deal. But the guy the MCN guy that was talking to me in emails, he apparently went and watched one of my videos while he was doing his side of the work, and mentioned that before he worked for Curse, he worked as, I don't remember, I can't find the email now, but he worked as something that deals with birth certificates, and people would constantly call him or come in and pester them about getting their birth certificate exchanged for credit. And he would try to explain to them, look, I every time you guys come in and do that, I explain to each and every one of you, it's not how you don't, it doesn't, there's no credit. Your birth certificate's worth nothing. It's just a document proving that you were born in the U.S. There's no value on this. And no matter what he would say to them, they would just, they would assume or reply to him with, you're lying to me. Nobody would ever believe him. And that kind of speaks towards the mentality of the people that buy into this stuff. They're willing to believe Druanna Wails, the least credible person on the internet, but then when they go to the actual office where the document's held, where the paperwork is done, the people that are, I guess, for lack of a better term, experts in the field, they won't believe a word they say.
Yeah. That's the thing, you know. That's the whole thing about the stuff that's on the internet, and you know, I could just focus on, maybe I could say the thing is the education level here in America and the whole thing. Just I guess I'm looking at this whole thing like an overview about it. It's the education here in America. It's being told what to do, being told follow orders and stuff like that, get a job, put yourself in debt, and then
the thing about America is critical thinking is not prized. People don't, they don't, every day, it seems like every day, the level of people's ability to critically think in the U.S. decreases. So if I was to look back at, say, 1992-ish, or prior, back when I had like a Tandy 1000 or whatever, or when before the internet was a thing and we were still using shit like Prodigy and AOL and stuff like that. And you could like when internet or network chat rooms were first springing up, and you could really start to get a feel of how people outside of your own little tiny region, your little pocket in the country, thought and behaved. And you compare the way people behaved then versus the way people behave now. And there were, of course, dumbasses then, just like there's dumbasses now. But
Yeah.
critical thinking was still a prized skill. And today, it's almost shunned. You're almost treated like an idiot if you think critically about things.
Hmm. Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's suggested for you to keep yourself dumb. Just go along with the pack, and for you to think on your own feet and all that. That's crazy to a lot of people, and that's the thing. But the whole thing about being in depth, everything ties together. This is my overall view on this whole thing, and that's why people get themselves in depth. We got ourselves in depth, and then we got stuff like this e-course scam comes along. 'Cause again, a lot of people want to get themselves out of debt. I got debt. I want to get out of it.
Of
Trying to
course.
figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to pay for all the stuff.
Right.
Because right, I mean, it's the overwhelming, and then boom, that's how it works. But if people know how to educate themselves, and maybe in schools a lot better, the education level, and people instead of you working and put yourself into more debt, and do it the other way around, it's just none of these things will have any hold on anybody.
Right.
But that's why I'm saying it just goes back. But
Now,
still in all, yeah, go ahead.
how versus say 2 years ago versus today, how do you feel about the sovereign citizen movement? Like, how did you feel about it 2 years ago, and then now today?
Well, I didn't know much about the sovereign movement at all when I first got into it. It was new to me.
Right.
It was I always the thing. Just to say this real quickly, the thing through the years, I always questioned the system, the government here in America for a long time. Growing up in New York City, questioning how politics is, the same pattern, same old lies, whatever. So when I learned about the whole sovereign movement, and I was starting to hear information that you know you wasn't told through going to school, like, oh snap, that kind of connected. I felt connected by that part, and now seeing all that and seeing and learning stuff what I'm learning now, it's way different. It's way different. It's like the stuff that I learned before 2 years ago. It's like it is kind of like high school stuff, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm aware of everything. This stuff that I'm still right now. I'm in the process of studying law, like I was telling you last night, and the stuff that I'm learning now, it does expose the other process and this whole sovereign thing. It's a disappointment, the movement, in different ways because a lot of people dedicate themselves, making a decision to give people with misinformation. Either one, they're ignorant by choice, okay, or they just operate
Right.
the system to purposely confuse people, okay, and to steer people from the solution of the bigger picture, okay, and that's where I'm at now. There is no damn birth certificate worth millions. The UCC is garbage. Stay away from that. Still putting you stuff in the private law and public law. You're still putting yourself in the jurisdiction of the U.S. government. Okay, so you're not. It's not like you're freeing yourself. You're not. You're still playing a role as a slave. That's the thing. And I just felt like I learned a lot. I learned a lot where I'm at now. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I could just pass more information on to people through future videos on what I'm learning now on this because I definitely, my heart, I definitely want to help restore America. We got to do it the right way.
I
So
think
people have to educate themselves.
Dragon just made a comment that I think is very relevant. He said young people want to belong somewhere, usually when they can't critical think, but even people that can critically think might want to belong somewhere because we're a flock animal. We're on another thing. We are a flock animal, and I mean, I guess a herd animal would be more accurate, a pack animal. But
Yeah.
more specifically, we're pattern seekers. We evolved to seek patterns and
Hmm.
assign meaning to those patterns because I mean there was a time when in human evolution where we had to say, okay, the bushes over there moved. Now I have to assess the situation. Either there's a tiger in the bushes about to eat my ass, or the wind blew the bushes. Now if I'm the type of person that leans more towards the wind and I'm wrong, a tiger just ate my ass. But
Yeah.
if I assume the worst, if I assume that it's a tiger and I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. I got the fuck out of Dodge. I'm still alive. So
Yeah.
we pattern seek and assign meaning to things that we don't necessarily have to because we've evolved to do that.
Mm.
And I think that's a
Yeah.
big reason why so many uh, conspiracy theories gain traction when common sense should dictate otherwise because we need to fear something. We need to have that irrational fear, or at least a subject to place that irrational fear on. We have to.
Uh,
We still need our tiger in the bushes, whether they exist or not. We still need ghosts, whether they exist or not, because we've evolved to have those fears.
mm. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I guess for me, growing up, I guess I question a lot of things about, like I was saying in the beginning, I guess when I knew something wasn't right, I felt something in my gut. Just everything, just everything, especially with the government, and the patterns. That's the thing too. I see patterns on that. I stopped voting. Obama was like the last person I voted, and I knew the con game of that is because he's what, brown skin. I'm supposed to be an idiot to vote for him because of his skin color. I'm like, really? That's just my thought at the time, and I start seeing the pattern how the system works, and I just got tired of it. I just want to make a difference on something, but I just at the time I just didn't know how, and that's when the sovereign thing came up, and but now what I know now, like I was saying to you, that's what I'm focused on right now.
Right.
I'm focused on right now, and I just I know we discussed talking about this in another podcast show. I just want to say this really quickly that as long as the thing is, as long as we're a U.S. citizen, okay, as long as we're a U.S. citizen, it's like we made an agreement. Everything's contract. Us paying bills, these bills, all this stuff, having your driver license, having your license plate, is part of the package. Okay, as long as you're a U.S. citizen, that's it. You're gonna do things unlawfully and get yourself in a jam.
Well, here's
People
the
walk
thing.
around.
Even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're still if you're in the United States, you're still obligated to obey U.S. law. So if you're a European and you come to the U.S., you can still get a driver's license, assuming you're here legally, and you pass the driver's license exam, and you can still buy a car and all that. But just being a U.S. citizen doesn't make you beholden to the law. Being in the U.S. makes you beholden to the law.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I'm running. See, what I'm running right now also is common law, and I know a lot of people have iffy feelings about it. And thing is that a lot of the statute and codes and everything that the U.S. opposes against people, because there's hundreds and thousands of laws that me and you are not aware of, and they know that. How are we going to remember all of that
But
and all of that stuff?
I don't know about
Huh?
hundreds and thousands of laws, but I guess kind of there is because each state has their own code.
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand because
But
I'm running.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to say this real quick. That there's so much stuff that a lot of people are not aware of, and I'm still studying about the whole thing with the license plate and driver license and all that. But the thing is that long as you don't commit or damage any commit any bodily harm or damage property, those things. It's like those are common sense. Those are things. But other stuff like you know, just stupid thing. If you spit in the street, that's against the law. That's an example. Okay. Other stuff, it's just ridiculous. Okay. And there's a lot of stuff that people have to really learn for themselves. The brilliant thing about the system is that it will intertwine the statute and codes with the common law. It's confusing. I'm not going to sit here and say it's like, oh yeah, it's just simple. Yeah, it is, because it all starts from public school, what we learn and everything. That's the bedrock on that, and upbringing and all that. And you have to see the stuff. And this is something I want to discuss in another show further. But this is something that about the laws here. As long as you don't hurt anybody, as long as you don't damage property, okay, that is the main two components right there. Okay. But far as the U.S. codes and stuff like that, yeah, if not, I don't know how it is with the people that's from other countries coming in the U.S. I don't know the answers to that. But I can say this, as you being a U.S. citizen, that you're subject. And that's why I'm telling you earlier, I was studying about the 14th Amendment. And I still am. I'm not going to sit here and say I understand it fully, but I'm starting to see things more clearer, and things that more clearer than what I learned at the beginning when I first started the sovereign movement. Um, there's a lot more to it. There is. But to be aware about the scam that's out there, it's very important. Um, People need to really have to. Well, I mean, I'm pretty confident people want to see our video here, and people just it will definitely help more people to not fall into the stuff.
Well, the fact alone that they'll actually get to see a video where somebody talks about having been through it, that's what's important here, that you actually did it. You gave money and you got nothing in return. So,
No, not really. I'm still a debtor. I mean, I got my UC, I created a UCC. I have my UCC. I got all that, done all that,
but
and
it's not solved any problems though. That's what I'm saying. It's
no,
And
no,
if you
no,
continue
no.
down that path, if you just keep pressing, it causes more problems.
Of
And
course, yes.
when people only get to see what Druanna Wails says, then they have to assume that Druanna Wails is right. But if they can actually see somebody who's bought her package, who's tried the process, and say, "Look, this is bullshit. They take a bunch of your money and then they fuck off and don't help you," then
Yeah, and
that's
it's
where
not
it's
just
at.
me. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just want to say it's not just me. It's other people. It's just that a lot of people. I wish I would like more people to come forward that took our e-course and make a video. I mean, I guess it depends on the individual
Well,
if they
that's
are.
the great thing about a scam. If I run a scam on you, and now after I've got your money and I fucked off to Scotland or whatever, you aren't going to be encouraged to go tell people, "Hey, look, I got scammed," because then you feel like a dumbass. So my scam is protected by your ego or your desire to not be called an idiot. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's really valuable to the scam artist. They count on you realizing that you're getting a scam run on you and backing out of it. But they also count on you being embarrassed about it enough to not go and spread the word.
Mhm. I know exactly what you mean, but you know what? I mean that is a test right there. You're right. I'll tell people up front. Yeah, I fell for it. I did. But the important thing is that what I'm doing about it now.
Right.
That's the important thing. You know, if I like I said, like we was having this chat on the side. If I would have continuously still do it and still trying to knock on daddy government door to discharge my debt, then I'm playing a role as an idiot. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I'm like, but I stopped.
I would never call somebody an idiot if they if they bought into a scam and then they realized, "Hey, this is a scam," and backed out. I would never call them an idiot because people fall for scams all the time.
Yeah,
But if somebody
yeah,
bought into a scam and then had something in their head snap and say, "Hey, this is probably a scam," but then they kept doing it, then I'm going to call them an idiot.
yeah, pretty, yeah. No, I understand what you mean. It's look, anybody listening, if anybody had taken her e-course, you're not like you said, you're not stupid. If you decide to say, look, I got duped, robbed, whatever, nothing's going on. Do a review on our e-course. All right. If you don't want to show your face, don't show your face. Easy to make yourself anonymous. You know,
Even if you
do an
don't,
e-course.
even if you
Yeah,
don't make videos, be vocal about it somehow. Get on comments, get on message boards, go to Reddit, do something.
exactly.
Talk to other people, show other people that she's bullshitting you. She's taking your money and she's not providing anything in return. And I mean, at the very least, try to have your word weigh in enough that eventually enough people start talking shit about it, and she'll have to change tactics. She'll have to move on to something else.
Yeah, yeah. I think what it is a trust thing too. Once that has been exposed more and more, people are just not going to care anything what she has to say.
Right.
And I've seen, through the years, we've seen bigger scam artists. They kind of shrink to like non-existence now because it's like that's it. It's the jig is up. That's it.
Yeah.
And
I got a video. It's the video's not finished. It's not made. I just have a lot of the material so I can put one together. But it's going to be a really long video, so I'm kind of hesitant to do it. But it's about a guy that calls himself Johnny Liberty. He doesn't operate anymore. He used to be a very prolific sovereign citizen. He would go around, he would do paid seminars. It cost like $80 or something to be in his seminar. And then he would talk for like 2.5 to 4 hours about sovereign citizen shit. And then the whole time he's promoting his book. Now he'll promote his book as a bestseller, as an acclaimed author and all this bullshit. But he owns the production company that produces his book. So, of course it's going to be a bestseller with his production company. Bestseller means nothing. Anybody can have a bestseller book if they produce their book and then sell it.
mhm,
They can then
mhm.
sell it as their bestseller. And the company that he owns that produced his book is registered, or it's no longer registered, but when it was registered, it wasn't even registered as a book publishing company. It was registered as a jewelry store. That way he could legally buy and sell gold.
Hmm.
And he eventually he got busted. He hauled ass to Hawaii. He was doing his sovereign citizen shit in the States. And he got the FBI on his ass for tax evasion and various other things. But he couldn't leave the country for whatever reason. He didn't have the sense, I guess, to go to Mexico and then leave from Mexico to go outside into the world. So he went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And when he went to Hawaii, he eventually got caught up with and busted, and they got him for like, it was a couple $100,000. I don't remember. It was like $300,000 or $400,000 worth of scams that he's run on people. They got him for all kinds of shit. Put him in prison. Since he's out of prison, I think he's still on probation, but he doesn't do anything that I'm aware of sovereign citizen related. Now he's a spiritual guru. And I see that trend a lot in these sovereign citizen scams. They run the
Yeah.
sovereign citizen scam as long as they can, and they either get busted or they get outed. And then they transfer over to a spiritual guru and start selling
Yeah.
their spiritual guru packages. But I can guarantee you, he will always have something for sale.
Uh, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's very important. I mean, I think I heard of his name, Johnny Louis. Sounds familiar. Darn.
There's
I think
another
I heard
one.
of him. Yeah.
There's another one I may have actually deleted. There's Johnny Liberty. Bill, here it is. Bill, I can't say his last name. It's spelled Schnoebelen. Bill Schnoebelen. It's a German last name, but at any rate, he has an absurdly ridiculous tale. He is a Satanist, sovereign citizen, Satanist, Illuminati, like you name it. If it exists, he claims to be a recovered vampire.
Recover. Okay.
in his story, like if you watch his video, it's just a train wreck. But or watch one of his seminars, it's a train wreck. It's like it starts off and you're like, okay, this dude's full of shit. But the more he talks, the more you're like, what the fuck? At any rate, we're veering off topic here.
That's all right.
But let's have a chance for people, and if there's even anybody in stream, but let's have a chance for people to ask questions. I see Dragons. Yeah, Dragon. That's the name I was trying to say. Dragon asked earlier. He asked, let me see. What does her e-course do, by the way?
Oh, the e-course, well, the e-course, what it is that it teaches you basically how, it's basically about instructions how to fill out the UCC, the security agreement, which gives you a layout of all, it's like an agreement between you and the system, create a power of attorney, and to how to register, how to notarize it and get it recorded. And the whole thing is about you. The whole thing with the e-course is about you changing your status from a debtor to a secure creditor. That's the whole thing about it. Is you being a secure creditor, you able to discharge your debt. So every time you get a bill, there's techniques that shows you how to discharge your bill and all that by making it a negotiable instrument and all that. She shows techniques about that. All that stuff is just bogus.
Yeah, I was gonna say it tries to show you how to do that, but it fails because none of it works.
Yeah, and if you go on the IRS site, one of my subscribers commented on this that if you go on the IRS website, it tells you about this. It even states that. At first, I felt like, but it says that they've been getting a lot of like fraudulent documents from the IRS and the Treasury. So it has a whole outline. I wish I had the link. You're gonna have to anybody, you're gonna have to go to the IRS website and look. Or if I don't find it, I'm trying to look for it now. But whenever you get a chance, go on the IRS website or maybe type something about the IRS warning on the sovereign citizen. But yeah, it says it right there, right? They've been getting a lot of stuff, a lot. They've been IRS and Treasury Department. They've been bombarded with this stuff. And
are you able to see the chat?
Oh, you're asking me if I'm able to see this chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it's kind of hard for me to look. I try to read the chat while I'm talking, but let me see it. I'm reading what he wrote.
Yeah, that last comment, he says the only way to get rid of a bill is to pay it. And that's, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it amounts to. It's people that have bills that they don't want to pay or they can't pay. And they want another way out of it. At the end of the day, if you have a bill, it's because you bought something, or at least it's because you bought something on credit. And let's say I went and got a car, and I got monthly car payments, and now I can't afford them. There is a solution. Let the car company repossess the car, or pay the bill. I mean, you shouldn't. I don't understand why people think that they should be entitled to some kind of secretive system that allows them to get things for free. The whole irony of this whole thing. Yeah, I know. I see a point, about this. I try to understand deeper about this because it's a common trend about it. I mean, I don't like bills. I mean, who does? But you pay for something. And look, you got these credit card companies and these loan companies come up with these crazy fees that honestly in a house, like really, who in an average person are able to afford to pay these loans or to pay for a mortgage? Basically, the idea is this. It's like this. It's designed for you to be a debt slave. We all know that. But there's a responsibility on our part to pay. Okay? But this thing is like, who wants to be paying a mortgage of a house for the next 30 years that the bank could come in and take your house if you're late on a payment? I mean, the whole thing is set up. It's crazy on both ends, but I understand anybody's feeling about, it's your bill, it's to pay for it. Yeah. I know, I understand where you're coming from. It's just... Here's the thing, though. I have zero debt. I don't have a single bill collector calling me to come and to either pay my bill or come get something repossessed or something like that. I don't have any credit cards. Literally, I don't own a credit card. I have debit cards for the bank so I can pull money out of the bank, but I don't have a credit card. Skylar doesn't have a credit card because I look at the credit card things, the letters they send and stuff, and they're like, well, you get fixed rate, you get this, you get that. And I'll look at the numbers and I think, well, look, if I buy $300 worth of shit at the end of the day, I'm going to be paying you $500. I don't
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's acceptable, so I make the decision not to have a credit card. Well, other people don't make that decision. Other people say, well, it's acceptable. I want to spend $300. I don't have $300, so I accept this debt. And they make bad decisions, and then they expect to be able to weasel out of those bad decisions. When the actual solution to the problem is to don't make the bad decision to begin with. Now, granted, that's never a cure-all because people make bad decisions. There's no way to stop that. But at the end of the day, I don't have debt because I don't borrow money. I don't have a credit card. I mean, I've had car payments before. I mean, Skylar's got a car that she just paid off, but we don't have debt because we don't make the decision to get in debt.
That's good. No, that's great. I'm glad you said that because the thing is that the way the system's designed to get anything, you have to have some sort of credit. To get a house, to get a car, whatever, unless you have cash up front to pay for these things.
Right.
I don't know how many people have the amount of cash to pay up front for the car to go around the whole thing credit. And that's the thing is design. Is for you to be in credit, have a credit card, and to be in debt. That's the crazy sick thing about the United States.
But the thing is, if you manage your finances, if let's say you got a credit card and you have a spending limit of X dollars, that don't go hit that spending limit all the time. Then you're not in debt anymore. Just having the credit card doesn't have you in debt. Now, if you buy a car and you look at your budget and you say, okay, I can afford a $40,000 car. I'll pay on it for 6 years. It'll be paid off, and at the end of those 6 years, I will have paid $50,000 for a $40,000 car. If that's acceptable to you and you and your finances can allot for that, then do it. Otherwise, don't buy a $40,000 car. Go to Craigslist or something, or get the penny pincher and find a car in there for like $800. I'm not saying that you're going to enjoy the car, but people think that, well, there's a system in place that allows me to get a new car even though I can't afford it. I want to use that system. It doesn't work that way. Just because there's a system in place that allows you to get a new car even though you can't afford it, it doesn't mean you should use it.
No, you're right. No, you're right about that. You're right. It's just
like right now, I can't afford a new car. If I want another vehicle, I need to go alternate means. Now, I could obviously go to the bank and say, give me a loan, and the bank would give me a loan. And then I could go to the car lot and say, here's X dollars, give me that brand new car. And they would do it. And then I would drive home in a brand new car. But I know that I can't afford that bank loan. The bank knows I can't afford it. They don't care. They'll still give me the loan because at the end of the day, they're going to make money regardless.
Of course.
The decision, right, the decision is in your hands. It's not in the banks. It's not in the system. The system can be designed any way they want it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the decision is yours.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's something that we all have to, each of us have to understand this and what we're going to do. I mean, I didn't want to have any more credit cards and kind of got back into it a couple of years ago. Still paying for some stuff now, but I just, it's definitely
And
we
another
definitely have
thing,
to plan ourselves.
now that I'm on that rant, if you have a debt, let's say using the car, let's say you bought a car, and at the time it was a good decision. At the time you could afford the car, but then your finances changed. You either lost a job or you changed careers or something, and you can no longer afford the car. It's not the end of the world. There are still things you can do to protect yourself. Instead of just having the car repossessed, you can I don't know. Every state has different rules in the process, and they've kind of clamped down on a little bit. But I know at least used to a person could file bankruptcy, and granted their credit would be fucked for a period of time.
Yeah.
They still had a means out of that debt problem. I agree 100% that the debt system, the way it's designed in America, is definitely in need of an overhaul.
Big
Because
time.
a while back I saw a show talking about this. A company that let's say I'm a company that loaned you $100 now, and you don't pay me back. Okay, so I can write you letters and whatnot and say, hey, you owe me $100. Give me my $100, and you can ignore them. Eventually, I mean, after ages of doing this, I'm going to get sick of sending you letters. So I can actually sell your debt to a debt collector. And I might sell your debt in a package of 3,000 people that owe me $100. And what it would amount to is me selling your debt for like 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
And now the debt collector owns your debt. I don't own it anymore. I got paid my 50 cents for the $100 of debt. I don't have to worry about it. Now the debt collector paid 50 cents to be the new owner of your $100 of debt. And the way the system is, it's so unmonitored and so unmoderated, I guess, that you can actually pay them the debt and they'll still send you letters. Or they'll pay the debt to me and I'll still sell your debt to the collector.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. It's definitely it's just wow. It's crazy the way the system's built, but yeah, this is very important for us to make good decision what we do,
Right. At the end
and
of the day,
sort
the
of
ball
invest
is in our court. It's our
pretty much.
decision to go to the bank and ask for money. It's our decision to apply for a credit card and then go buy $10,000 worth of shoes. At the end of the day, it's always our decision. We're not born indebted. Like a lot of the sovereign citizens claim we're born indebted. We're not. I don't have debt. Nobody calls me. I don't have to worry about it. But if I was to go buy a car, I would be putting myself in debt. A debt that I probably couldn't afford.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a issue. Definitely, yeah. It is could be overwhelming thinking about all this. Like, what could we do far as an overall, just to overhaul this entire system, the way it's built? Because it seems like it just never go away. People find themselves in more debt. People situation change, they can't pay, and once they're late, they got to have like fees that's ridiculous. It's like twice as more, 33 times more of the bill, the fees and stuff, and that's what it is. I mean, it's just buying a home. I thought about getting a home, but I don't want to have a mortgage.
Right.
Honestly, I don't want to deal with a damn mortgage.
Well,
But
I'm lucky on that front. I own property. I own a house. I own land, but
oh,
it
good,
was
good.
it was given to me. So it's not like I have to pay a mortgage or anything. It's just I had to pay for the paperwork to get transferred over into my name, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing too. Again, I'm looking at what Dragon was saying about, if you don't have any money, they won't force you to pay. But the thing is, a lot of us, I don't say everybody, but a lot of us, we see things, we see advertisement on TV and see it's like kind of like we must get it. We must get this, must get that. And I wanted to do a video about consumerism, what it does, and how a lot of us become slaves to these things, um, if you allow it. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
all
Because
all about the attitude.
right at the end of the day, it's still the ball is still in your court.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of nice things. I go to the store, I see nice things. I even test myself go to the store on Black Friday, and I look and I see the energy. It's like it's forcing you to pay, buy, excuse me, buy, and I'm like, and they kind of trying to sign you for a credit card. I'm like, it's so tempting, but I just go to these stores, see if I'm gonna fall for it, and I just walk out.
Yeah.
It's still up to you. Um,
You know what? A little experiment I did a couple of years ago. I went to Walmart and took notes of prices in Walmart, and
Yeah.
watched. I did this over the span of a couple months, and as the months crept closer and closer to Black Friday, the prices on this TV I was watching steadily increased a little bit, a little bit, a little bit every month. Sometimes every couple days it would go up, and then when Black Friday hit, they dropped the price back down to its original price and said 40% off.
Wow.
So you're not
Okay.
you didn't even actually get a deal. They just lowered the price back down to its original price.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is.
And then some items in the store, they didn't even do that with. They had, let's say, I don't remember an item in specific, but let's say a chair, for example. The chair, let's say the chair is $20. It's been $20 for 6 months, and then Black Friday comes and they mark the chair as $30, $10 off Black Friday special.
Hmm.
They don't even do that ramp up. Now they did it on the TV because I was watching the TV, and I wanted to see how well you could actually save money on Black Friday. Also, if another thing you'll notice, none of the really good high quality like Vizio TVs or something like that, something of real value, none of that stuff goes on sale. Just the garbage, generic, off-brand crap.
Oh yeah, yeah. They put it right there in front of the store just to get rid of it. Yeah, Walmart does that. And, yeah.
And Walmart
Oh.
basically Walmart sets the trend when it comes to other resellers or businesses. At one point, I worked at AutoZone as a commercial specialist. I dealt with, like, as my job at AutoZone was, if you owned a mechanic shop, and then you would talk to me. So you wouldn't talk to the guy at the front desk in AutoZone. And I could get you special deals, so you could get batteries and car parts and stuff with a shop discount. You had to have a contract signed with us, and you had to have an account set up, but you could get your parts on credit and you could get them at a discount. That was my job. And I was there when AutoZone was adopting Walmart's, I guess, mentality. So they started by changing over all of the computer systems to a system that is apparently very similar to the computer system in Walmart. And then they started changing their company policies. They started changing the way employees are expected to behave and everything. They're emulating Walmart because Walmart's system works.
That's interesting.
And a lot of companies do that. A lot of companies emulate Walmart now because the Walmart system makes money.
Wow, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. That's man. Well, are we gonna, I mean, it's again, like you said, it's still up to us, about far as but not allowing this corporation dictate what we should get and how we go about our way of spending. And
Right.
it's definitely it's up to us. But
Right. We
wow,
the people still have the power to make the right decision. It's just, do we have the willpower to make the right decision?
that's a test. Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So,
Uh, did
man.
did I guess Dragon's really the only one in here right now? Did Dragon have any more questions? Dragon, you're in voice. Why don't you just talk?
I think he said no. I don't. I think he said nope.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, I guess we'll wrap this up then. Go ahead and get it uploaded to the channel so you can. Oh, also when I'll show you later how to get it downloaded off my channel.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
um, we'll discuss later. We'll figure out if we're going to do a second podcast, when, and what we're going to talk about and all that. So there's a potential there. I just don't know
Yeah.
when we'll have to come up with the right time slot for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, yeah, I really appreciate you having me here. This is it's felt really good just talking about it, and I see a lot of people view the video down below, and yeah, yeah, I really appreciate you having me here.
Right, and then once it gets uploaded to YouTube, it'll get more views. And that's where it's really going to get traction because
Oh yeah, Okay.
On YouTube, you're going to have people that are searching for sovereign citizen stuff and searching for Druanna Wails and searching for that stuff, and that's where it's going to be important.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, definitely want to touch on other things about the 14th Amendment and other stuff. But yeah, definitely. Well, keep in touch with me, and I definitely want to upload the show here on my channel
Right.
and get the word out. And yeah, thanks. I felt good. I'm glad I've been able to share a little bit more depth, about the e-course and how it doesn't really help me. And again, I'm not the only one. It's just a matter of people putting their ego aside and just speak out.
Right.
You know, really, no one really could judge you but yourself. That's the real thing. It's you. You gotta, if whatever you say, if you want to get the voice out, you definitely gotta help inspire a lot of people.
Right.
And but yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for the show. Thanks for coming and chatting with us.
Thank
And
you.
yep. Peace, fuckers.
All right. Take care.